Hello, hello. It's Tash and Ro.
Welcome to or welcome back to
It's Saturday,
your personal self-care pod where you can escape the work week and unwind with your two besties.
No matter what day of the week it is, but for us,
It's
Saturday.
Oh my God. It feels good to be back. Just us two.
No offense, Scott, but this is so nice. And it's nice to not have to talk about the summer anymore. And we're talking about like real life, in the moment things that are happening.
Yes.
Except I do kind of want to, well, I guess it technically wasn't our trip, but I want to hear about Copenhagen and Paris.
Yeah, I have again, we have so much to talk. I feel like
there's always traveling now.
No, this is literally our life now is just like all these updates. Also, if you're like, what is in front of you guys? Guys, we got a really special delivery this week from Distillery, which is like a local distillery in Gatineau. And I think they also have another location in Ontario, Hawkesbury or something. But they sent us a bunch of different alcohol and we're just really excited to make some beverages.
They have some kinds of like mixtures that I've never heard of before. Like they have like a ginger based one, a lychee based one, coffee based liqueur, which I know I've seen that before, but like it just, all the ingredients are so different. And one of the first ingredients in some of them was like filtered like spring water.
Yeah. And the bottles are really beautiful and it's just nice to support local. So shout out to Distillery. We can't wait to try and make all of our cocktails with your beverages.
Delicious.
Thank you. Okay, let's get into it. So we have a lot to talk about. So, okay, we ended off our convo talking about Italy. So obviously we get back from Italy. It was the longest we hadn't seen our dogs for, which was
23 days for me, like 22 days for you.
Yeah.
Honestly, it ended up being 25 days for us because this was the hardest thing. We got back on Friday night at like midnight and then Stark was at the cottage. So we didn't see him till Sunday. And I wanted so badly to drive and get him on Saturday. But Matt was like, no, like you can go 2 more days. It's fine. And I'm glad I waited because we had the engagement party Saturday and all that fun stuff. But 25 days, like that's too long.
It was so long. I was like, is my dog going to remember who I am?
Yeah. Was Nova mad at you? Because Stark was mad at us. Like we got the cold shoulder.
We got her in the middle of the night and we went to go pick her up and she did her whole like opening her eyes like, who are you? And then she like realized where she was and she was like pissed herself. So
she was excited.
She was excited, but she was just kind of like, and then she did her classic rah 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 like
yeah.
So yeah, you could tell she was a little bit like, where the heck
where
have
the
you been?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really fun. Like our whole summer was really fun. We get back and it was kind of like a lot of events right after each other. I feel like, did you guys have another wedding? We had another wedding right after we got back.
No, we didn't have another wedding, but we had the engagement party and then I literally went right back to work basically.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So you went back to work. We had one of our friend Gerp's sister's weddings and it was an Indian wedding. It was insane. Like there was like a freaking helicopter there.
This was like first of all, it was like a week-long event. Like
I'd never been to an Indian wedding, so I had no idea what to expect. I was like, if all of my friends were getting married in the same year, like as it's happening, like we had 5 or 6 weddings this year, have the same amount of weddings next year. That's like 5-6 weeks. Because they're each a week long.
No,
like,
that's insane.
There was like 5 events. I was like, Jesus. But it was really, really fun. So cool. And yeah, we got to like actually wear all like the traditional outfits and stuff. So that was really fun.
You got the henna.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do henna. That's like so beautiful.
It's so cool because the girl who was doing it was just like freestyling
it.
Like no picture or anything.
So she just does whatever she wants.
Anything that she wants. But you could also show her a picture. Like some of the girls were like, hey, I want this. And she would literally look at it and just be like, it's like so artistic.
Talented. And how long does it take to come off?
Not that long. So I got it done and then I had my trip to Copenhagen. So I was a little bit like, oh, it's going to be a little bit weird to have like this full arm of
People
henna.
just know you went to a wedding though.
Yeah. But it only lasted, I would say, literally like a week and a half.
Okay. That's
not bad. And if you want it to come off sooner, you can just use hot water. It comes off like pretty easily.
Do you know what it is? It's like
a dye.
It's just a kind of dye.
People use it to dye their hair too. Like henna dye. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's like a reddish tint. So if you want like a red tone hair, you can use that. But
so that was the first time I've ever seen like a helicopter grand entrance. Like what the heck?
And nobody knew. It was like a surprise. So we're all waiting there. And then Gerp was like, there's a surprise. And in my head, I'm like, what? Are they going to come out of a helicopter? Like I said
as a joke?
Yes,
oh my God,
I said
stop.
That. And then someone else said like, oh, like a carriage, like a princess carriage or I don't know. Like everyone was just kind of like saying what they thought it was going to be. And literally I hear a helicopter and I'm like, stop, it's a helicopter. I look at a group, I'm like, it's a helicopter. And then someone was like, no, that's like the helicopter for the hospital. Like it's on the way to the hospital.
Someone's injured.
And I'm like, the hospital's not this way. So
yeah, no, it's really not.
It's really not. So I was like, I don't think so. And then as it started getting closer, everyone was like, what? But yeah, no, it was crazy. Yeah, insane.
And then everyone was on like tractors too.
It was like a helicopter to a tractor to like
there was literally like a red carpet.
I'm like, damn.
And like the bar was like all top tier.
Top tier, like Casa Amigos, Moe. Like it was, they popped off at this wedding.
It looked so fun.
It was like 400 people. Like the
in a tent.
So it was crazy because our friend Chris was invited to this wedding and he was at the dentist and he was saying like, oh, I'm going to this crazy wedding this weekend. And his dentist is like, oh, the one at the Infinity Convention Center? Like, I'm going to that wedding too.
Half the city's going to.
And I'm like, damn. Like, even his dentist was going. Like, that's crazy. But
dude, definitely had FOMO. It looked so incredibly cool. Really she looked stunning, beautiful.
Yeah.
And I heard they like flew in like some famous Indian singer that sang at the wedding.
Yeah, there was so many surprises.
You made like a custom glass at the wedding.
So, you know, like those in Italy when you got pasta made in this like bowl, like this like cheese wheel. They had that as like one of the stations.
Wait, they did?
Yes.
Someone was making pasta?
Someone was making pasta in that cheese wheel. They had a sushi station. They had a wood fire oven pizza station.
They're just covering everything.
And then after that, I literally went to Copenhagen for a conference.
Yeah.
Like it was like a few
You've
days
never
after.
been there before?
Never been there. It was my first time going to like one of like the Scandinavian countries. Very beautiful, really expensive. So if you're like planning on going there, just be like mindful that it's pricey. It's probably one of the most expensive places I've ever been. Okay. Like really expensive.
I did not expect that.
And it was just like you're there and you're like, people are like, oh, it's like one of the happiest countries in the world. Like it's like Finland and then Denmark. Those are like the two happiest countries in the world. And I was really trying to understand like why people there are so happy. First of all, I saw the most men pushing strollers I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
So that's just something.
Wait, yeah, you never really see that here.
So many men pushing strollers. So many people on bikes. There's more people on bikes than cars.
And then is it true people like don't even lock up their bike? They just like leave it.
Literally people would get off their bike and just like leave it there and go to work. I saw one homeless guy and he was literally wearing a collared shirt and I chatted with him and he said that he doesn't like to think of himself as homeless. He just is without a home right now. And we're because I was like, I haven't seen a single homeless person. This guy didn't even look homeless.
Yeah.
Like he just looked like a normal guy that was just sitting on the side of the street. But the safest country, like you can just tell like the government really takes care of the people. Yeah.
Damn.
So really, really
take
cool.
some advice from them, please?
Honestly. And there was one place that definitely, if you guys are going to Copenhagen, check out. It's called Tivoli Gardens. And it's actually like an amusement park, theme park that Disney was inspired by. So Walt Disney actually went to Tivoli Gardens back in the day before a long time ago and got inspired to like create Walt Disney, like the theme park.
Wow.
So it's like so cute. They have like a little Santa's like village type of thing with like a lot of little tiny houses. All the little like shops are super cute. Aww. It was just like a very nice, cute spot. So if you're going there, definitely recommend going there. And then what else? Yeah, men pushing strollers. We went to karaoke one night. And
you and your dad went to karaoke? That's so cute.
So me and my dad went to karaoke together. We actually didn't know it was a karaoke spot. We just thought it was a bar. And we were sitting there and then people started getting up to sing and we're like, oh, is this karaoke? And they're like, yeah, it's karaoke. But everyone was so good to a point where I was like, what kind of karaoke is this?
Is this tryout for like Copenhagen Idol?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm confused. And then I asked, I'm like, why is everyone so good? Like everyone's really, really good here. And they're like, yeah, they had to have gotten vouched. Like it was kind of like
you had to just like go up.
No, you had to like audition or something, I guess, before. So that's why everyone was so good. It was crazy. So
you didn't get to sing.
No, I was like, I'm ready. I'm like some Taylor Swift or something. Like put me on. But no, it was really fun. And then me and my dad ended up going to Paris for a few days at the end of our trip, which was really nice. And Paris is just stunning. Like I definitely want to go back to France.
Man, I went when I was like 17. I don't really remember it that much for like a few days.
It's just, I just feel like I'm the type where now, like when we were in Italy too, I just love sitting at cafes, having like a coffee, drinking, and just like people watching. Paris is the best place for that. There's so many cafes. Like everywhere is a cafe.
Probably baguettes. And like croissants.
Yeah. And the Louvre was like the most beautiful.
Okay, yes, been there.
Stunning.
Okay, did you find the Mona Lisa like underwhelmingly small? Like you're like, wait, and you're like so far away from it. You're like, okay.
So far away. There's a line up just to go like take a selfie with it, which me and my dad did. But it's like the selfie's so bad. It's like half of our face and then like the Mona Lisa in the back. But no, it's just like the architecture, like the paintings on the walls were so beautiful. Like not even like paintings on like artwork pieces, but like just like painting the walls. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it was all
just the
like
design of the building.
Yeah, it was just so beautiful. Like I don't know, I'm just so into like Renaissance paintings and stuff like that.
So cool.
And I will say we went to a modern art museum in London, and not to like for the art people to like come after me, but I just modern art to me, I'm
don't
like,
get it.
I just there was just to give you context. So we went to this modern art museum. We walk in, and they're one of the exhibits. I swear to God, it was just clothes hangers stuck to the wall. And if you read the description, it was like something like, oh, like worships, like the hardships of life, or something like weird like that. And you're like, what? It's just like clothes hangers on a wall. Like, what is this? So it's just like, it didn't make sense to me. A lot of it was just like, what is this? Like, I feel like I could have made this at home. Yeah. So I just didn't get it. But I feel like with art in that time period, like back in the day,
it's actually like talent.
It's so much talent.
Especially when it was like so long ago too. Like I feel like they didn't have like the best tools to like make all this kind of art. Exactly. Also, randomly speaking of art, like Amanza Selling Sunset selling her art for like $20,000 a pop. I'm like, what the heck? Know. It's only because she's like kind of famous, I feel.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I'm like, who's buying that? I'm like, also stop being a real estate agent now then if you can just do this.
100%. Yeah, no, she was never really good at real estate though. No, like, she was like an interior designer. But yeah, 100% recommend going to Paris if you've never been. Copenhagen, beautiful. But if you are on a budget, I would say like make sure you have some money to like spend there because it is pricey.
And you tried escargot.
Guys, it's so good.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever had it. I don't know if I had it when I was there.
I was like, at first I was like, am I gonna not like the texture of it? But
slimy.
It was not slimy. It was cooked in butter, garlic. I had like herbs. It was really good. Like,
and
delicious.
They're like tiny though.
They're really tiny.
You have to dig it out. Do you feel bad? Like you're murdering it, or it's already dead?
It's already dead and like cooked. But like they give you this weird tool, and it's kind of like tweezers, and you like tweeze it out, and you put it on the baguette, and you eat it.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Okay.
Like, we got like another round. We're like, more of that.
She's an escargot girly.
So good.
Wow, I'm glad you had so much fun.
But I have to give a shout out to you because you let me borrow your Amazon backpack. Oh,
yeah. Shout out to Heather and Emmy for getting me that too.
That backpack was a lifesaver. Like, thank God I had that backpack because I was able to do just a carry on this whole trip, which was the first time I've ever done that. And it just fit so much more stuff than you think.
It's such a good backpack. I'll link it, guys. It's like, I forget the brand that it is. It's like Traeger or something. It's this cute pink one. And you can fit like, I don't know how many liters it is, but it's like compact and has so many pockets on the inside and the outside. So there's just so many compartments for all your stuff. Yeah. And it's just,
and it doesn't open like a backpack. It opens like a suitcase. Yeah. So that's really nice because you can actually like pack it up and then open it. So instead of like, sometimes you overstuff a backpack and then you're like, where's my stuff? And it's like at the bottom. Like
opens up.
Yeah. But all in all, it was a really good trip. And yeah, that was like, it concluded my little travel year.
Wow. Yeah. You had a big travel year.
Really big.
And there's a couple more travels coming up, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, if you didn't check out the episode yet with Scott last week, definitely give it a listen with Scott, the CEO of Fight for the Cure. We've gotten really good feedback. It's actually so cute because I was talking to Matt and Scott, both separately told me like, everyone's listened to the pod, like his sister, his family, like the fighters family, and like everyone is like, wow, like that was such a great podcast. And he's like, I hope you're ready to be a celebrity like on Saturday night, like everyone's gonna like be like, oh my god, you guys are the girls that did the pod.
I felt like I learned so much that episode. I felt like I already knew a lot about Fight for the Cure, kind of prepping for that interview, but no, he's such a good talker. I felt like I knew him for so long, even though I just met him like 5 minutes before we started recording. He just gives off that like energy.
Definitely.
But no, it was a really good episode, and I just love guest episodes because I feel like you become so close with that person in like 1 hour.
Exactly. You know? And I'm just so excited to go to Fight for the Cure. If you're listening on Saturday, we're going tonight. Check out our stories. It's going to be so fun.
So excited.
So fun. Okay. What else has been going on lately? We've been obsessed with juicing. both of us.
So we got back from Italy, and I was still making my like ginger shots using the blender with the cheesecloth.
I can't believe I used to do that.
Literally, you used to do that, and you had a juicer.
Yeah, I had a juicer and I did that because I was just like, our juicer sucks. But then then I used it again. I'm like, wait, this juicer rocks. Like, what was I doing wrong the first time?
Yeah. So then, like one of the Ninja juicers went on sale, like the cold press ones, and Farza bought it for me because he's like knew I've been doing this, and he's like, I can't watch you do this thing with the cheesecloth. Like he would walk in, and I'm like squeezing the juice out. So he buys it, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is so much easier. Like, what was I doing before? He's like, I know, like you would spend so much time making this. Now I feel like I do it every week.
No, we've been doing it every week since school started. I've been on it. And it's so funny, like, and then I'm like making shots and I'm bringing them to work, and me and Nina are taking them, and she's so funny. She's like taking a boomerang, okay, because she's friggin' a boomer. She's taking a boomerang of us doing our shots, and then she puts like the song, like, shots. And then like my vice principal like has her on Instagram. She's like, "What are you guys taking shots of?" So then I brought my vice principal a shot like the next week. I'm like, "Don't worry, Charlene. Like it's ginger, lemon, like apples, like celery." But I have to say, like I've been taking them like almost every day, and I love them. It's such a good way to get, like, I never eat celery. Okay. Celery is so effing good for you for so many different reasons, but I freaking hate it. I can't eat it no matter how much hummus ranch I put on it. I despise it. But putting it in juice with other stuff, especially carrot,
so celery, apple, just throwing it in because it makes it sweeter. It's so good. Beets, like I'm obsessed with beets already, but beet juice, so good. And you put enough ginger where like the immune benefits are so good for you.
The ginger is spicy, like it has a kick to it. Even the tiniest bit of ginger and celery are the most potent things, like for sure. You don't need a lot of them because you taste them heavily.
Now I just like throw like what do I have, and I'll just like juice it.
Yeah, no, it's so fun. I love juicing. It's and then guys, you inspired me to do this. Then Romina and we take the pulp from the carrots and we fucking bake with them. Okay.
Martha Stewart, that
like put a ring on me, like I'm the wife of the century. I got back from Italy and I don't know what's going on, but I'm always baking, I'm juicing, I'm meal prepping. I'm like,
no, one day,
must be nice.
No, nobody talks about how one day you're texting your friends about what club you're gonna go to, and the next day you're talking about vacuum recommendations, mortgages, and juicing recipes. Like, when did this happen, and why?
I don't know, man. But I'm low-key loving it. I love my little Sunday ritual. And if you do end up getting a juicer, guys, we also both bought like the little glass like, what are they called?
Yeah, they're like little glass containers.
They're like 2 ounces, I'm pretty sure.
Perfect. It's the perfect amount.
Yeah. And then it comes with a funnel. So you just pour it in. Boom. It's great.
Yeah, we'll link that below with a backpack. There's a lot of add to cart because we've just been buying so much stuff. And what else? So actually, I went to recently and tried that new pizza spot in Ottawa called Schoolhouse Pizza.
Nina tried it recently too.
Okay.
She loved it.
So yeah, because I feel like there's no good, like the pizza spots in Ottawa are rare where it's kind of like that, I don't know, like that heartbreaker style pizza, you know, like the wood oven, it's thin, you can kind of like fold it and eat it. And saw this on Instagram about how this place opened up. And so we went one night, and thank God we called ahead and we said, like, we want these 2 pizzas, and we went to go pick them up because that place was packed. Dude. And they said that they became Instagram famous overnight, and it takes like 2 days to make their dough, and they ran out of dough. Like for like 3 days in a row, they ran out of dough. They just weren't prepared. Like 2 influencers came to their spot and made some reels. It got like 1 million views.
Oh my God.
And so they literally blew up. So it just shows like the power of social media. They were only open for 2 months, and they were like, we're sold out every night.
That is such a sick story. I'm so happy for them.
They were like, we have worse problems, like obviously, but like it's just crazy because people were walking in as we were waiting for a pizza, and like the girl was just like a record tape like stuck. She'd be like, "Sorry guys, we became Instagram famous. Like we ran out of like the same speech was just being said and said every person that would walk in."
But you got your pizza.
We got our pizza, and it was really good. They have these little pepperonis. Yes, so good. I really liked it.
Man, I need to go.
100%.
It's in New Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like Vanier area. Yeah. The new place. Yeah.
Gotta add it to our pizza spots.
Oh, it's so freaking good. So yummy. So definitely check that out.
Speaking of carbs, I signed up for the Ottawa full marathon in May. full marathon. I'm psychotic. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It might be a great thing. It might be a bad thing. I guess I was like, I was scared to do the 10 and then I did the 10. And then I was scared to do the 21. I did the 21. And now I'm scared to do the 42, but I'm going to try to do the 42.
I think you got this.
So my training, I'm still running like 3 times a week right now, like 2 to 3 times. But my training for this starts January 6th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so you're going to start on the treadmill, obviously, and then kind of work here.
It depends, because you know what? Honestly, like I was looking back on my Strava, and I love Strava for this. Like I went for a run January 2nd last year, because if it's sunny out, like you're fine. It's when it's cold and there's no sun.
Okay.
That's when it's like really bad, and if it's windy. But if it's a nice sunny day in the wintertime, like it's actually not bad to run. And I actually bought some Solomon like trail like winterized running shoes.
Cool.
That are waterproof. So I was running in the snow like with just normal running shoes. So now I actually even have the proper gear. So I'm excited, but there will be days, I'm sure, when it's like minus 40, I will obviously be on the treadmill.
I have like a non-runner, like a person who's not a runner. Hi, I'm not a runner.
She's allergic to running.
I'm literally allergic to running.
Literally cannot run because she will die.
Do you like plan out if you have like a long run, do you like plan out your route before, or do you just like, cause you're like, let's say you're having to do like, I don't know, 15 kilometers. Mm-hmm. Like
how do you know?
I don't like, I'm like 15 kilometers. I feel like I would start running and then loop back and then be like, wait, this is my house again. And then just do like a bunch of loops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it depends. If I'm running more than 10, then that's when I will run to the river, and I'll go either like away from Pleasant Park or like down towards Mooney's Bay. And then it's just good because it's like, okay, I got to run 15K. It takes me 4 kilometers to get there. And then I'll just run like another half of whatever 15 is. And then I'll turn around.
And if you get like, let's say you're running and then there's a like a traffic light and you have to press the button to cross the street. Do you pause?
I do.
Okay. Cause I was going to say, yeah, like that will mess up your time.
I pause it. Yeah. And I don't run on the spot. I literally take the break.
Okay, good.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh no, a red light. Oh no, I have to take a break.
Yeah. No, and obviously during the run, there's none of that because they plan out the route and like stop everything.
Yeah, no, they like close down the streets and everything.
Cool. Yeah, that's so just something I've always wondered, because like when I'm running 5K, we have like a stoplight right here, and we're always like, do we pause our time because we're just waiting here? And
yeah,
like,
it depends.
Yeah,
like because
I'm like, no, not really.
Like if I wasn't training, like I wouldn't care, or if I didn't post on Strava, I wouldn't care. But I'm like, people are seeing my pace. Like I want to get my 5 kudos, so I gotta show up.
Got it. Okay.
But no, I'm super excited. And so far, I have one. I know actually 2 people. Tasha's gonna do the full marathon this year. She just did the half, and she freaking crushed it. She did like, I forget what her pace was. I think it was like
she's like
she's really fast.
Yeah, she's really fast too.
I think she was under 5 minutes.
Wow.
Minutes a kilometer. And then my old coworker, Michelle, she turns 40 the day of the marathon. So she's running her first marathon on her 40th birthday.
Wow, that's like
that's iconic.
That's really iconic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Speaking of like running, something that I'm allergic to, I broke my pinky toe, guys.
Do you think you actually broke it?
I think I actually broke it because like I was feeling like the area and it literally feels a little deformed. And I've been taping it because it's still I have tape on it right now. Like literally have tape on it.
Have you tried wearing high heels around the house yet?
I wore high heels to a wedding, and I had to take them off like right when people started dancing because I was like, I'm dying.
Really?
It was like really hurting because the way heels are is like all on your pinky toe. Like you don't realize how much you use your pinky toe until you break it. And guys, I literally just stubbed my pinky toe.
So, do you think it would be worse to break your big toe or your pinky toe?
Probably your big toe because it's just like a bigger bone. But I feel like because it's my pinky toe, my body just like is like, we don't really need that, and it's not like putting enough resources to like fix it. Like, it's taking so long. And obviously I called my brother right away and I was like, I broke my pinky toe, what do I do? And he's like, you could go to the merge, but they're not going to give you a cast for your pinky toe. Like you should just tape it. So.
And what kind of tape is it?
Just like I don't know. Medical tape.
Oh, okay. Aww.
I'm only taping my toe. So yeah, guys, and that's why I haven't been able to really do 12 through 30 either because
literally
that's
so sad.
It's so annoying. I'm like, I haven't really been doing any cardio. Squat? Yeah, I can do squats. I can do pretty much everything but like big like cardio, like running or walking. Really, the bike I can do.
Okay.
That's fun.
Damn.
Crazy.
Okay, also speaking of doctors, I literally came home from work on a Monday. Mondays are my hardest day, and I come home and I'm working out, and I open up my email on the treadmill, and my doctor is dropping me as a patient. So I'm back on the hunt for a family doctor. He's going on paternity leave and decided that he's having a family. Like, I get it. He's having a family. He's like taking less patients now, and I got randomly selected. So if you guys know a family doctor, let me know.
It's just the crisis continues, guys. Yeah. It's actually ridiculous. Like, more and more people are going to get that, you know, about how they're getting dropped.
And then I'm going to go somewhere else, and then I'm going to get dropped again. It's just like, okay.
I know. The crisis is like, it's
so
actually
annoying.
very sad.
Yeah. Healthcare and education, you guys.
Yeah.
Voting next year. Look into what everyone is doing for those platforms.
100%.
I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah. And then last little update. So me and Tash have been, well, we were getting our nails done like all summer. Mm-hmm. We were going to the nail salon, like doing all that. And then it's so funny how we actually are so connected, because I feel like you broke a nail or something, and then I broke my pinky toe, and then I broke a nail. I was just like over the nails, so I literally removed like all my polish. I just had like, I was raw dogging.
Dude, I literally did the thing. I like got like, I couldn't find pure acetone, but I found like half acetone, half nail polish remover. I put the things on.
With the tin foil. I was
sitting there watching me on TV, just like opening it up, scratching it. I'm like, okay. I took dental floss. Okay, this is a trick. So like once some of it came off and it was a little loose, you take some dental floss. Like I took the flossy stick and just like put it under, and it would slide it off.
So smart. Yeah, it took forever to take off. And then I was like, you know what? It's like winter. I don't really want to go sit at a nail salon for nails that like only 5 people are going to see. Yeah. Like, I just don't care. But then my nails were so brittle from getting it done that they kept breaking. Yeah. So then you got us on this like glamnetic trend, and it's their press on nails. Not gonna lie, they look just as good as getting your nails done.
When I tell you, I've gotten more compliments on my last 2 glamnetic sets than I ever got on my actual nails being done. They're like, oh my god, like where'd you go? I'm like, Amazon, like literally. And but you know, I thought they were gonna be magnetic for some reason because it's glamnetic. So I'm like, oh, it's like magnetic somehow. And I got it, and it's like glue. I'm like, oh, it's literally just glue. So I was kind of like, how good will this glue be? But guys, no, you wash your hair, scratch your head. I'm working with kids all day, like scratching Stark, like making food, juicing. Like these are staying on. Yeah,
literally. Glamnetic, can you like sponsor us, please? Yeah. Okay, so guys, literally, guys, I have a hack though. So you can get your glamnetic sets from Amazon. They're about like $20 a set. Yeah. Or yesterday, I was at Winners. Stop. And they have glamnetic nails for $12. And they have so many more options.
Actual glamnetic. Yes. It's not like glamnetic.
No, glamnetic. Wow. I was like, oh my god, so I got some. So I'm like, okay.
Because you've had those for a while too.
Yeah. So just a hack, if you're like, I don't want to pay $20, well, then you can get a half price at Winners.
No.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I carry my glue everywhere. Just in case. Yeah. I never need it, but I got it if I need it.
100%.
Okay, my god. Should we just jump into like, do you actually just want to jump into freaking Showtime because we've both been dying to talk about this? Guys, I don't know if you have been watching Tell Me Lies.
And if you have, maybe like, because it's going to be some spoilers, if you're like mid-season, maybe just skip this part, and if you've never watched it, maybe skip this part because we're going to be talking about season 2. And
we're telling you about everything.
Yeah.
So I crushed season 1 in a weekend. Like, actually, shout out to Steph. She's the one. I went to dinner with her one night, and she was like, do you watch Tell Me Lies? And I'm like, no, what is this? Like, tell me about it. She, like, set the scene for me. I'm like, I'm literally going home after this dinner, and I'm going to go home and watch it. Yeah. I watched, like, 5 episodes right away. I was immediately addicted. And I'm not even going to say what it's like. It's about this toxic relationship in university. It's a flashback, flash forward kind of situation about this girl named Lucy and her boyfriend Steven, and it's fucking crazy.
It's so crazy. So I feel like I watched season 1 a while back and kind of forgot about it, and it was really good, but I was like, forgot about it. Like, I feel like I mentioned on the pod, but like didn't really go into it. And then when you started watching it, and season 2 had been out, so I'm like, okay, I'm watching season 2.
And season 2, it was one of those rare shows where you couldn't binge it. Like, it was coming out week after week, so we had to wait till every Wednesday to watch this show. Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, season 2 is a little, because season 1, I felt like so much happened at the end that I was just like, I can't wait for season 2. Season 2 started, and I was like, why am I just not getting into this? Like, it's kind of slow.
Okay, you thought that, but I thought the opposite. Like, maybe because I went right from season 1 into season 2.
I think that's why.
Maybe you forgot. Like, you're like, it's kind of slow. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, she's having an affair with her professor, and like this happened. We just found out this. I'm like, what do you mean it's so? Like, what do you want to happen?
I think it's because it'd been a while since I'd watched season 1. I was kind of like, but no, season 2 so good. Like the finale, like jaw on the floor.
Okay, can we also just say, like, I feel like at the beginning you're made to think that, like, Lucy's kind of a victim and, like, Steven obviously, like, fucked her up because he's actually, like, a narcissistic sociopath.
Yeah.
But, like, the scene where Lucy texts Steven, like, need to see you, like, meet me at the pool. And then she goes to her boyfriend, like, oh, I need some air. I thought she was fully gonna, like, leave him and cheat on him. She's in the pool having sex with him and makes Steven come and gives the most intense eye contact to him.
So weird.
So weird. Yeah. And then when the boyfriend sees the text messages and he finds out, oh my god, she's just as crazy.
It just shows that at the end of season 2, you're like, okay, she's just as crazy as him. I will say, like, I really like Diana because this season I felt like her character development. I was like, I like her.
Okay, but what I will say about her is I'm just surprised she didn't speak up more when she was with Steven in that doctor's appointment. They're like, oh, it might be a broken rib from like a steering wheel or this or that, and she was kind of like, oh shit. Like, why didn't that come up more? Like, why didn't she confront him? Like, why?
The Macy stuff, I feel like, was just, like, left under the rug. You know what I mean?
Like, you literally ditched this girl and, like, you basically killed her.
But that whole thing of, like, faking her LSAT score, like, that whole credit card thing, I was so
I had
happy.
a feeling. Yeah. I'm like, something's fishy here.
Yeah.
Like, she's smarter than this.
And then the stuff with Lydia, which is Lucy's best friend. So Lydia, I saw this theory and it was like Lydia was Lucy's first toxic relationship. Like, because they've been friends forever. Okay. And, like, if you really watch back season 1, she is kind of toxic. Like, at the beginning, Lydia. Like, you only see her in the first few scenes of season 1. But she
had a toxic boyfriend. She went and punched her boyfriend for her.
Yes. And she also said something like, it was, like, literally the first episode of first season. She goes, oh, like, you have no emotion, like, Lucy, you're gonna have, but, like, one day you're gonna get your heart broken so hard.
Someone's
like,
gonna get under your
skin so hard, blah, blah. And then in season 2, she was like, don't go up to Steven, don't say anything about what happened. And she literally, in the middle of the party, goes up to him and, like, makes a whole scene. And that was kind of weird. And I don't know, it was just, I feel like her character development's gonna happen in season 3. Like, I can see
I need to see more flashback of how Steven starts dating her and then to the point of proposing to her. And I feel like he's only with her to get back at Lucy.
Lucy for sleeping with Evan.
Yeah.
And then that whole voice note thing is like getting back at Lucy also because of the whole voice note thing with his sister. Remember he sent that voice note?
Yes.
Of his sister?
Yes.
Yeah, to his
sister.
sister.
You sound like mom. And he's like, don't say that. I'm like, yo, you literally are your mom. Like, you're crazy. And then there's also been, was it you that said this? Like, because we all think that it's the professor that Bree is texting.
Like during her wedding.
During her wedding. There's someone texting her being like, Dana, she's like, leave me alone. This is my chance to have a family. Da da da. I just thought, assumed it was the professor. But then was it you that said people are saying it might be Steven?
People are having all these different, like, theories. They're like, maybe it's Steven and, like, Bree was seeing Steven as a payback. Like, maybe Steven's trying to get back at Evan that way as well. Yeah. Like, 2 different ways. Or maybe it's Mary Ann. Like, maybe they're having some weird, like, threesome situation. I feel like that's less likely, but I don't know. There's so many different theories out there. I'm curious to see, like, because isn't this based on a book? It's based on a book, but I've heard that it really steered away from the book. Also, did you know this? So the creator is this girl. Her last name's Oppenheimer. Megan or something.
Yeah. So she's the creator. Okay. Her husband in real life is Oliver,
the professor.
So she wrote this role and casted her husband to be playing someone that's like has this open relationship. Crazy. And is imagine like being the creator that you're filming and you're watching your husband, your baby daddy, they have kids, okay?
They have multiple kids.
Making out like fucking Bree.
Yeah, it was
what?
Really weird. I could never.
Even I could never date an actor.
No.
You're kissing another woman, I would go bananas.
No, I could not do it. Also, the scene where they were like at the bar, it was Bree and Oliver at the bar, and then like the bartender was like giving them eyes, like what the hell? It's because Oliver probably brings other girls that he's been seeing there because they had that open marriage. So he's like, she's probably like, oh my god, another one. I just put that together.
And that's when he kissed her, and then she's like, oh my god, he kissed me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So many things. But then also Oliver being Evan's professor, like that one scene they show him, I'm like, weird.
Also, I thought he was very good looking at the beginning, and then once all this happened, I was like, you're actually gross.
They're so weird.
So weird.
And the when Marianne like says something to Lucy, like, I'm so happy that he didn't see you first.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That was
really weird.
Yeah, there's so much happened, and then Drew dying. Like, I was like,
okay, so I thought that Drew committed suicide.
Same.
When they're like, his brother's birthday was the other day, like, give him a break, and then seeing the story, I'm like, he probably like drove himself so mad, he like kept being like, I don't want to be here, so I thought he was gonna kill himself. I never would have thought that it would have been because of his brother.
I know.
Quickly. But then that's the one good thing that Steven did too, is he took the blame for Lucy.
So why did he do that? I'm trying to understand
Maybe
why.
He actually does love her in a weird, fucked up way. And he didn't want her to, I don't know why. Or was there another reason? I don't know. Maybe he did that because then if she tells the truth about that, then she tells the truth that Steven was in the car too. So he's like, let me just shut her up this way.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, apparently the next season's coming on 2026.
No. Okay, I really hope that they see the reaction from everyone. I feel like this got way more buzz in the first season, and then they will just record it faster. Like, just bump it up, like, next year. Or like beginning of 2026, sure.
Apparently Emma Roberts is also one of the executive producers. Yeah.
Okay, and also random, we've been watching, Matt and I, Dexter lately.
Oh my god, I've never watched that.
Yeah, so neither of us ever watched it before, and it was kind of annoying because like a year ago I told Matt, I'm like, can we start watching Dexter together? And he was like, no, I don't really want to watch that, like blah blah blah. I'm like, come on, like that'd be such a fun show. No, blah blah blah. Then we go to Tremblant for like Thanksgiving, and he's like, do you want to watch Dexter? And I was like, yeah, I really do. Like, thank you so much.
I've been saying this.
I've been wanting to. But then, when you just like weren't in the mood, like we started watching it, and I was just like kind of on my phone. I just like wasn't in the headspace to watch it. And then I kind of like fell asleep, and then Matt kept watching it, and then he watched like a bunch of episodes without me.
The worst.
I was like, yo, I'm like, dude, we just got married.
Was supposed to be our show.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you're on your phone the whole time. Anyway, I caught up. Okay. Do you want to go outside? Okay. Oh you guys. This is gonna be like when we have kids. You stay inside, sir. No. This is what you did this. You did this.
I didn't do shit. Okay.
He starts watching it without me, and then I had to play catch up and basically watch the whole first season alone. And now we're both on season 2.
Okay, that's good.
Anyway, you know the premise of it. It's you guys should watch it. It's like, it's kind of gruesome. It's like serial killer vibes, like mystery, and it's intense.
So he's a doctor or no?
No, he's like a blood specialist.
Okay.
He works for the police force like in Miami, and like he has like a sister, but like he was adopted, like his parents were killed, and like he has this like urge to kill in him. Like he's he's a killer, but he controls it, and he only kills like bad people. Yeah, and because he's like in law enforcement, he just like knows like how to kill. He knows what to do to make sure he never gets caught. And yeah, there's lots of twists and turns. The first season's so good. Like stuff happened, my jaw was on the floor. Like I didn't see it coming.
I love that.
And it's an early 2000s show, and I just love watching early 2000s shows.
Speaking of early 2000s shows, sometimes you're always like on the hunt for new shows, but like you should just go back and watch some classics.
Yes. Like
me and Farza started rewatching Mad Men. It's both of our favorite shows.
I've never watched it. I don't even know what it's about.
Oh my god, you and Matt need to watch it next after Dexter. And it's more of a lighthearted show, but it also gets super serious too. So it's about an advertising agency in the 50s and 60s. Old school, but it's based in like, I think they started filming in 2008. Okay. And actually Harry Hamlin's in it.
No way.
That's Lisa Rinna's husband.
Oh my god, stop it.
He gets in it way later, but yeah, he's in it. And it's just, you see like how parenting was in the 50s and 60s, how they treated women, like drinking habits, like drinking and driving was not a thing. Like they get seatbelts. They get so messed. They like drink, and then they'll like, okay, see you later, and they're driving home. Like,
do they
40
people
minutes.
die a lot?
People get into car accidents a lot.
Yeah,
people are like hitting their kids, hitting other people's kids. That you're like, wait, that would never happen now.
Whoa.
It's like
that's crazy.
Thinking back, you're like, wait, what? And like pregnant women are smoking partying and drinking.
Yeah, that's wild.
But it's just like that was so normal back then. And there's so many moments in the show where you're kind of like, wait, what? Like this was normal back then? Yeah. Like it's actually crazy, and it's a really good show. Like really good actors.
How many seasons is it?
I think it's like 7 or 8. Yeah, it's a good binge worthy show.
Okay.
Yeah. So definitely, if you're looking for a new show, like watch Dexter or Mad Men.
Okay, so once you're over rewatching Mad Men, start Dexter, and then when we're done Dexter, we'll watch Mad Men. We'll switch. You want to do some tabloid talk? Yes. I feel like there's lots of things that have been going on. We haven't been able to talk about, like, did we talk about Tommy and Molly Mae splitting? No. Like, wait, did he confirm, was he cheating on her?
So I remember where I was when I saw this news, because
you've been invested in them for a while,
and we were actually in London. So then I was
in
London, and I was like, no way that this is happening, and like we're literally
you're like, you might see Molly Mae down the street. What the fuck?
Looking out for Tommy. So like pretty much it's been confirmed that he was cheating. Like not 100%, but it's naughty. And there's been children. A lot of things. They have one child, Bambi. And
their kid's name is Bambi.
Her name is Bambi.
Stop. That's bad.
Yeah.
With the BMBI?
Yeah.
Ew. Yeah. No.
Yeah. And then she came out with a clothing company called Maybe, which is MAE, like Molly Mae, which people are saying like is just another like Pretty Little thing.
Yeah,
like the quality is not that great, but the prices are really high.
Oh, no thanks.
So yeah, I feel really bad though because she was engaged or gonna get married,
and she seemed like a cool girl. And they were the Love Island couple, right? Yeah. They were like our one Love Island couple. Like they found true love. They're getting married. They're gonna they had a baby, and then
I feel so bad, and I feel bad because her sister just got married, so like that must have been kind of hard. Like I don't know. It's just it's a really like tough situation. But I also feel like I could have seen this coming because like they're so different. Like he likes to drink and have fun. And remember that show where it showed a little bit about their family, like the Fury family? Yeah. And like he wanted to like homeschool their kids. And,
they had very different views for parenting.
So I feel
maybe it was for the best. And aren't they like in their early 20s? Like they're so young.
Like 25.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. I just met Matt when I was 25.
So... And then what else happened? Oh, did you hear about Braxton Berrios actually tearing his ACL?
Yeah, I heard about that on Monday.
So sad.
Dude, I feel so bad for him.
Do you think he's like out, like he's out for the season, but do you think he's out for like ever?
No, I'm sure he will get the best surgeon and like will recover. I think that he'll be able to come back from it. But I don't know. I was reading somewhere it said like he'll be out for 12 weeks, which is 3 months. So I guess is that the whole season?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking of like Matt and like his ACL. I'm like, but he didn't get surgery yet. Braxton will literally probably get surgery like tomorrow, ASAP. He may already have had surgery. Yeah. But it's after the surgery, like the recovery is really hard. He's young. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I
feel really bad though. Apparently, Alex, his girlfriend, was like she was in New York or something doing some kind of live show and just like canceled all her plans and like took like the red eye to come back.
Honestly think they're gonna get married. I think they're so adorable still. Like he treats her like a friggin' queen.
Literally.
Their relationship kind of reminds me of like Alex and like her husband. I feel like Alex are both these crazy girls, like can't be tamed, blah blah blah. And then they find these men that are like the most romantic, generous, amazing,
and they're
humans.
both so like calm.
Yeah, they're calm and their girls are like,
yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, very, very similar.
I can 100% see them.
And then Liam Payne died.
So sad.
And all of a sudden, he's all over my TikTok algorithm. Everything. Is that coming up for you too? Like videos of him and his girlfriend? I'm like, I've never once seen Liam Payne on my algorithm, and now that he's dead, you're pushing his content. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sad,
dude. It's not to like make joke of this death. It's very, very sad. But I was telling Faraz, I'm like, Liam Payne died, and he's like, who? I'm like, the guy from One Direction. And he's like, oh, the one where they're all brothers. And I'm like, no, that's Jonas Brothers. And then he literally didn't know the story of One Direction. I had to like school him so hard. I'm like, One Direction, the X Factor, Simon Cowell, like these guys all auditioned separately. He made a group called it One Direction. Like they end up winning. He was like, what? I literally had to pull up a YouTube video showing like the evolution of One Direction. And Liam was their lead singer.
Was
like he was pretty much their lead singer up until, which is crazy because now you're like Harry Styles is like the most famous.
And
Zayn, and then the other, I feel like there's two that I don't even know their names, like Louis or something. Don't know.
No.
But in the show, like I X Factor, if you go back and watch all the clips, because we literally like one night watched all of their like performances, Liam was their lead singer because he looked like Justin Bieber, and at the time Justin Bieber was like blowing up with like the swooped hair.
Yes.
So he was singing more than Harry Styles was, which is kind of crazy.
Man,
it's so.
Do you think
so
he
sad.
committed suicide, or do you think we fell? Was it drugs? What do you think?
I feel so bad because his dad just went. So this happened in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and his dad went to like the hotel, and they showed a video of him like kind of leaning on the thing, trying to see like could have that like just on the balcony.
His dad was
like imitating, like just kind of like leaning on the balcony to be like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Because people are saying the toxicology report came back like there was a lot of drugs in his system. A lot
of drugs, yeah.
So they're saying like maybe he just kind of like was leaning over and fell. I don't know. I just feel so bad because they have a child.
7-year-old son.
So sad.
Really sad. And it's kind of crazy that his girlfriend like left 2 days earlier. So she's probably like so much guilt. Like, what if I didn't leave? Like, what if I stayed? Like, I just can't even.
I can't even imagine. Yeah. Like, it's so sad.
So sad. There's so many crazy things happening right now.
I know. There's a lot of like.
Dude, I also feel like a bunch of celebrities are about to go on blast with this whole Diddy situation because they arrested Diddy, and there's more and more like things coming out. And apparently there's like a celebrity that was involved in like when Diddy was like sexually assaulting someone, and there was like a celebrity in the room like watching, but they're not like naming who the celebrity is. And like I was reading the comments, and like obviously this is not like a funny situation, but someone like commented like, in the names of Sutton, like name them. Like, why are you protecting them? Like name them. No, literally. Like, why are you protecting these? Why do they get protected under like these sexual assault
it was
claims?
Like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Like, it took so long for people to release that list. I feel like it took years of like all this stuff. So
like and also then who's the Abercrombie & Fitch guy again?
Yeah. He was like one of the creators,
the CEO.
So he was the old CEO, and apparently he was running. His face is also scary.
He looks terrifying. I feel like he's got a lot of work done.
No, it's actually terrifying, and I feel like more and more things are coming out about this Diddy stuff, and I'm like, it was like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. Like, how did this go on for so many years and nobody like knew about it?
I think that Ashton Kutcher's name is going to be on one of these lists.
Really?
Yeah.
It's crazy because Kanye West back in the day was like kind of outed a lot of these people, and then they're like, and then he was like, if I get killed, like just know that they're coming after me. And now people are saying like, that's not even him, it's a clone.
Yeah, Grayson Cavallari, it's like, he's a clone. I'm like, maybe, honestly.
Or he just took that way.
I don't know, man. Yeah, dude, so much crazy stuff.
Yeah, so much.
I feel like every time I open up my Instagram feed, like E! News is telling me something crazy. Guys, coming from a fellow worrier, we all need to stop worrying, because Cornell put out a study that 85% of the things that we worry about never even freaking happen.
That's literally like anxiety. All this stuff is just worrying. It's
just worrying about these crazy. I'm so guilty of it. Like, I get into these crazy like worrying holes of like, sometimes like the most outlandish situations will pop into my head, and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. Like, why is that situation even in my head?
Yes.
Like, stop worrying about it. And 100%. I know it's so easier said than done, but just like check yourself when you're like overly bearingly worrying about something, and just think about something else.
And I do feel like a lot of worrying and stuff, anxiety is like, let's say you have an upcoming event or you have something coming up, you create these like scenarios in your head of like, oh my God, what if I make a fool of myself? What if this happens? What if that happens? And then the event happens, or like, let's say you have to do a task and it's like a daunting task. The thing itself is always less than the build up in your head.
Always.
It's always less. Like, let's say you have to do, sometimes like people get really anxious for doing like simple tasks. Like, they have to go, I don't know, like, this is stupid, putting gas in your car. And you're like, oh, well, whatever. And
then
I'll
do it later. Oh, I'm running low. Oh, I gotta go soon.
And then when you actually do it, you're like, wait, that was so easy. That was a joke. What like, you know? So I just feel like the build up in your head is always worse than the actual thing. So just remember that sometimes when you're like, check yourself, like, it's all gonna be good.
Check yourself, don't wreck yourself.
Wreck yourself.
All right, and that's a wrap on that. That felt so good.
I know. I'm looking at our notes and I'm like, there's so many notes, guys. But yeah, you're gonna have to wait. And our 100th episode is coming up.
What do we do for that, guys?
Oh my god.
Maybe guys, let us know. Should we do like a recap episode of like some of our favorite moments, or should we do like a Q&A and like ask you guys to ask us questions? Should me and Romina interview each other?
Yeah,
like
let us know.
What should we do for our big 100?
Crazy.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Look at us.
Episodes.
Look at us.
Look at us.
All right.
Okay, we love you guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.